She was texting with Jeffrey Epstein the day of Michael Cohen's hearing. Her questions pretty closely followed the text messages between the two of them to ask about Rona Graff, Trump's longtime assistant. You were defending her today, or in recent days, yesterday, and you talked about Republicans taking money from a Jeffrey Epstein. Here's what you said.
Who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio.
You mentioned Lee Zeldin there. He's now a cabinet secretary. He responded and said it was actually Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who's a doctor that doesn't have any relation to the convicted sex trafficker. Unfortunate for that doctor, but that is who donated to a prior campaign.
Now, she says somebody took money from Epstein that never took money from Epstein, right? And she was wrong. It's a different Jeffrey Epstein. You know, they're Jewish. They have these similar last names, Goldberg, Epstein, whatever, right? The guy corrects her, right? Highlighting how ignorant she is. But does she apologize to him? Does she say, you know what? My mistake. I got it wrong. Of course, she can't do that. Jazmine Crockett don't do no damn apologizing.
Of his. Do you want to correct the record on the people?
Listen, I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein, just so that people understand when you make a donation, your picture is not there. And because they decided to spring this on us in real time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen, because I knew that they didn't even try to go through the FEC. So my team, what they did is they Googled, and that is specifically why I said a Jeffrey Epstein. Unlike Republicans, I at least don't go out and just tell lies.
Wow.
Because
bruh, come on, man. Come on, man. This woman is that damn idiotic. This woman is this dang on idiotic. She got caught red-handed mixing up one Jeffrey Epstein with the pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, right? And instead of saying, you know what, I made a mistake, she says, nah, like, how do you trust somebody like that? My question to the people who vote for these people, my question to the people who vote for people like Jazmine Crockett, how do you trust someone like this who will sit up and lie on national television? We all saw you, Jazmine. But see, this is who the black women celebrate, because this is how they all think. If you've ever argued, not all, let me stop saying all, too many of them. If you've ever gotten an argument with a black woman who has no accountability, they argue just like that. Well, see, that's why I said it this way. No. You said it straight up, bro. You said she lied. She got up there and she lied on Lee Zeldin. She was wrong, and she can't even apologize. That's how you know she's just totally gone. If she won't even apologize to her peers, people she's supposed to respect, what do you think? Do you think she's going to have remorse when we find out that she's doing something to hurt the constituents? Because you know it's coming. You know it's coming. And somebody said they think Jazmine Crockett is hot. Trust me, she's not. She looks terrible. I was looking at pictures of her all day. She is built bad. Marjorie Taylor Greene is built better than Jazmine Crockett.
Because it was not the same one, that's fine. Wow. But when Lee Zeldin had something to say, all he had to say was it was a different Jeffrey Epstein. He admitted that he did receive donations from a Jeffrey Epstein. So at least I wasn't trying to mislead people. Now, have I dug in to find out who this doctor is? I have not. So I will trust and take what he says, is that it wasn't that Jeffrey Epstein, but I was not attempting to mislead anybody. I literally had maybe 20 minutes before I had to do that debate.
Yeah, but
wow. Yeah, so maybe you shouldn't have got your ass up there and trying to go off. I had 20 minutes before I had to do that debate, so I had to jump up there and lie and make up stuff and pull names out of my butt. Yeah, a lot of people took money from Jeffrey Epstein before he was a convicted pedophile. Hakeem Jeffries was begging him for money. Epstein was convicted, I think, in 2009. Correct me if I'm wrong. Why was Hakeem Jeffries begging for money from him in 2013? That's my question. Why was Hakeem Jeffries begging for money from this guy in 2013 if he had already been? They don't care. They don't care what you think. And that's why they could never get my vote. I want the person that I vote for to at least care about what I think. Just a little bit. She couldn't care less. Jazmine Crockett is just like, she's the queen. She's the belle of the ball. I'm little Tatiana up here, and y'all can't tell me nothing. That's her mindset. And that's why she's most likely going to lose her seat in the midterms. You don't care. And if I'm one of her constituents, I'm just looking at her constantly taking L's like, what did I do? I made a huge mistake voting for this chick.
I see that and say, well, you're trying to make it sound like he took money from
I did not know.
a registered sex offender.
No, but I literally did not know.
We
when
know.
you search FEC files, and that's what I had my team to do. I texted them and I said, listen, we're going up. They are saying that she took donations.
Right, but someone might say, well, your team should have done the homework to make sure it wasn't the convicted sex trafficker.
Within 20 minutes, you could not find that out, not from just doing a quick search on FEC. So number one, I made sure that I was clear that it was a Jeffrey Epstein, but I never said that it was specifically that Jeffrey Epstein.
So what's the point?
She's pathetic.
What were you trying to make?
She's pathetic. She's pathetic. Yeah, if you voted for this lady, I question your mental I question your cognitive ability. She's just a liar. You know what? Jazmine Crockett is who we always knew she was. She's who we always knew she was. A grown woman, 45 years old, walking around with the mindset of a little kid. Lying for no doggone reason. Sitting up trying to save face, trying to be the tough black woman for a bunch of dudes who, once she lose her seat, they're gonna be laughing at her. They're gonna be cracking jokes on her. So I hope it's worth it. I hope it's worth it, Jazzy. I really hope it's worth it. Because when you lose your seat, you're gonna feel real dumb. But she'll go back to being an ambulance chasing lawyer. It probably won't hurt her that much. I'm sure she's got plenty of money from these corporate donors in her coffers.
But we would need more time to really dig in.
Well, Stacey Plaskett was texting the Jeffrey Epstein that we're all talking about. You voted against the censure for her to remove her from her committees. You know, we pressed the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, on this last night. Maybe you don't think she should be removed from her committees. But why do so many Democrats seem unwilling to say it's inappropriate to be texting with a registered sex offender about what you're going to ask a witness at a congressional hearing?
So I'm not going to necessarily say that that's the case. Now, this is somebody that was a former prosecutor. Now, I haven't sat down and talked about all the specifics of why Stacey was doing what she was doing. I know that when she got up and she spoke, she talked about the fact that this is one of her constituents. At the end of the day, what I know of prosecutors is that they are typically talking to co-defendants. They are typically talking to the people that have the best information. And what you had was you had the former attorney for the president that was sitting there. And honestly, we knew, or she knew, or at least Jeffrey Epstein presented that he was very cozy with the president. He had more information, registered sex offender or not. The bigger question is, why is it that the president was so cozy with a registered sex offender even after he ultimately ended up with some of his convictions? And seemingly he had absolutely been on the plane with him. We know about the birthday card. The bigger question is, why is the president of the United States not the one that is in the hot seat for his relationship, instead of us saying, oh, you know what, we're going to take her off of her committee because he decided to text her. Stacey didn't initiate that chain. Jeffrey initiated that chain, and she took the information.
Wow.
Just like if somebody texts me.
Yeah, but she was responding and saying,
listen, man, taking the information, you look great. Say thank you. They knew each other. They had a personal relationship. On the other video, I even said she was flirting with bro. But what they're doing is Jazmine Crockett is an attorney. That's what she is. But she's not, that's her profession. But she's trying to argue this like she's an attorney when she has to argue this. She should be arguing this like a representative of the people, right? She's not even considering the victims. For her, it's just a zero-sum game. You lose, I win, or I lose, you win. But what about all the lives in the middle that are affected, Jazmine? What about the people that you are supposed to represent? And, you know, the implications that this has on the way they, on the safety of their children going forward. She doesn't care. This is a game of basketball for her. She doesn't care about the victims. She doesn't care about the women who are hurt or the children. She's like, we on defense. Now we on offense. We on defense. We just a heartless politician. This woman can't even show an ounce of sympathy for the people who died. Nah, the real question is, why was Donald Trump? Well, Donald Trump went to the FBI. Donald Trump cooperated with the FBI. He talked to them, asked them if they needed anything to hit them up. And I got the video to prove it. And the video is from 2006. It ain't about that, Jazmine. This ain't the rugby game, boo. This is about the American people wanting transparency on why some rich guy had a trafficking ring, and why were politicians involved with the trafficking ring, and we never knew about it, and it was never discovered or found out. Because even back then, Trump was a private citizen. He wasn't the president. He wasn't a congressman. He wasn't Mitt Romney or John McCain, right? She doesn't care. The whole, like, this woman is like a T-1000 on the Terminator. She's heartless. She got no emotion. She's like, I ain't got a feeling or an F to give about these people. You could just see it all in her face. She ain't got an F to give about these people. And it's just sad that people take people like this and put them, well, we know who got her elected, right? We know why she's elected.
Saying, you know, what are you talking about? Quick, I'm up next. And then her questions were about Rona. But do you think that was inappropriate? I mean, would you text with someone who is a registered sex offender about what you should ask?
I honestly know that he had never been convicted of any federal crimes at that time.
But he had been in jail already.
He had been in jail.
Deal.
And my deal is this. The Republicans are constantly texting with a 34-count convicted felon. So if it's okay.
Wow, I can't, bro. I just can't right now. There's so many lies. She just told so many lies. It really is a shame that Caitlin Collins did not stop her and correct her on these lies. First and foremost, she tried to say, well, President Trump continued his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein after he was convicted. That's not true. That's not true. Also, on top of that.
Yeah, and it's like when you listen to the conservative people who analyze these videos, we're all going to sound like we're like a broken record, because the truth, the facts are so acute. Like, she's lying so blatantly. A little kid could break down these videos and be like, yo, she's lying. She's lying. But that shows you what people like Jazmine Crockett think about the people who vote for them. They think these people are all just a bunch of dummies. That's it. You're just an idiot to her. And she's going to say and do whatever she has to say and do to keep getting paid and keep getting donor money. Because that is her claim to fame. She's a fundraiser. So she's a sellout from day one.
They text you about issues. They speak with you. I have spoken with him about issues that are relevant, things that are going on in the Virgin Islands and elsewhere around the country.
Right, but on that day that we're talking about,
I have spoke to him. This is Plaskett right here. I have spoke with him about things going on in the Virgin Islands. What the hell do you need to be talking to him about what's going on in the Virgin Islands for? He ain't no politician. He's not no representative or the president or no senator. All you want is money, right? Because that's what it's about. But one thing people know, Epstein's money comes with a cost. Epstein's money comes with a cost. So if we all know that Epstein's money come with a cost, what do you think that cost is? I'm telling y'all, something is fishy about this woman's relationship. You out in the Virgin Islands, ain't nobody really paying attention to what's going on. That's why he got an island out there, so he could go get his freak on. And she has, to me, she's a bit too comfortable with bro for me to be okay with it.
You initiated the text exchange at 7:55 in the morning. So why were you even texting with Epstein at the time? He was a known sex offender then.
Sure. I explained to people, I've been a prosecutor for many years. And there are a lot of people who have information that are not your friends that you use to get information to get at the truth.
And she just told a bunch of lies. Just lie after lie after lie.
Yeah, 100%. Lady was just lying, man. I have been a prosecutor, and there's a bunch of people you talk to who you might not know and all this kind of crap. Come on, lady. We are not dumb. We are not dumb. Why would someone say, you look great, by the way? Oh, are you chewing? He's being a pervert. Even in the messages. Are you chewing? Epstein is low-key getting off on this chick. And she knows it. They've probably been involved. I'm telling you, man. Man, I'm telling you, these people party together. If Epstein is like, yo, I'm in the Virgin Islands, it's a slow night, I want to party with some elected officials, some American royalty, well, he gonna get the Virgin Islands to come through because they're the most powerful people who are close to him. If he's in the Virgin Islands, right?
Lie. Wow, incredible.
Okay, for them to text him at any point in time, then I'm not going to say that that's right or wrong, especially to the extent that you're talking about kicking someone off their committee. Were they sexting? Was it a matter of her being involved in the pedophilia? No, it was nothing like that. She was trying to understand. Let's say Jeffrey Epstein said, you know what? I have these pictures, these salacious pictures, because I know that the president got down and did these things. Do you think that it would be inappropriate for her to ask about those things if he said he had personal knowledge?
I think the context matters, but obviously it seemed like he was helping her.
She is horrible. She's not only a horrible representative of the American people, she's a horrible representative of Black people, period, across the board. She's a horrible representative of Black people, period, across the board. And I don't want someone like that representing us in any field, in any field at all, because she makes us look bad. She's a liar. She's dishonest. She's calculated, and she has no emotion. For as emotional, she's emotionless. She's like the T-1000. She has no emotion, but she's very good at playing on Black people's emotion. That woman sat up there, didn't even say, you know, my heart goes out to the families. She didn't even say, you know what, I'm so sad and sorry that this had to happen to these families. She couldn't even be bothered to say that, y'all. She couldn't even be bothered to say that because she is like a demon, bro. She doesn't care about anything. She doesn't care about anything. She just cares about winning. That's what matters to this lady. Did we win or did we lose? That is the only thing Jazmine Crockett is concerned with. And you can't have people like that. We're Americans at the end of the day. We got to work together. So it should be competitive. It should be where, you know, you're working hard to prove why you're the better candidate, you're the better option. But it ain't no zero-sum game. Because if the Democrats get hurt, the Republicans get hurt as well. If a bomb hit this damn place, guess what? Ain't nobody going to say, are you a Republican or a Democrat? Maybe Jazmine Crockett will. But no normal human being is going to say that. So, this is not it's just disgusting. Everett Jackson, I'm going to do some research on, bro, and I'm going to support this dude big time.